Sandy, you need to put it in
All right, we're
Facebook
live now.
ASAP.
Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome. We're kind of going to wait for people to show up and all that. So we're just going to hang tight.
Would you like me to keep myself?
Sir, you're breaking up a little bit. Sometimes if it's a little robot.
Who is? Me?
You are. You're going. Yeah, sometimes you're going in and out sometimes.
Uh-oh. Do you want me to leave and come back?
No, don't. It's your net connection.
All right, because I know I'm all set up here.
Chris, we're waiting for a few people to come in the chat before we start.
Yeah.
Right now, there's no one there, so we're gonna wait a couple minutes.
I'm going to be sending a link, so I'll be right with you.
Okay. And I am gonna keep an eye on this chat. All right, we have a few people. Hey, David Cook. Hey, Chancellor Napa. How are you guys tonight? We're going to be starting shortly with our special guest, Christopher Sinatra. Do you prefer Christopher or Chris?
Either one is fine. Christopher is my formal name. If you want to grab my attention, but Chris is fine.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
We got a great show for y'all. We're just going to wait for a few people to come in the chat. And I'm sending a link to someone. All right, and then what I'm going to do next is then go to the questions, find those, start asking some questions. Hello? Y'all there? Teresa. Okay, Teresa dropped out. Teresa, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's okay. We can hear you.
That was weird. My phone I'm on a phone, Chris, and it likes to do that a lot. The internet is like weird on my phone.
Teresa, what happened to your laptop?
It's sitting on the floor. I didn't have time to get on it. Sorry. I have to turn it on, log on, get into Facebook, download the link. It's just easier for me to do it on my phone. You know what I'm saying? It's faster. I didn't prepare ahead of time. My bad.
Let's hope you stay.
Sorry. Okay, I'll put my phone down and I'm careful. How's that? When you start interviewing, I'll mute myself and I'll just put my phone down so this way it can stay in. All right. Sandy, did Sandy post in the group for the show? Sandy?
I did. I also posted on Twitter, and we are live.
More people are showing up now. Okay, and I have some questions I'd like to ask the guest we have here now. Okay, and first question, get right into it then, since there's more people. And okay, so when did you first become aware of the Mandela Effect? What's the date? When?
Well, I would say that when I first noticed my first Mandela Effect, but I didn't know what it was 2013 with of course, the Berenstain Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was. I just thought I was just, I didn't know what was going on actually. And I was really busy at the time.
Oh, God. Same here.
Yeah.
All right. And what was the first ME that made you realize that this was more than just a trending YouTube topic? I think you answered that with the Berenstain Bears, you said.
Well, you see, so that happened in 2013 for me, but then later on in 2017-ish, the JFK assassination is the one that really
Mm.
me really hard. I didn't know what the Mandela effect was. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened was I found out about the Mandela effect by my confusion over the JFK assassination and the Zapruder.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was searching in Google, it would actually say JFK assassination, Mandela effect. And I'm like, what the heck is this Mandela effect?
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, so that's
That'll
how it
definitely happen. Wow. And what are your top 3 anchor MEs then?
my top 3.
Yeah, the top 3 anchor MEs, like you said the assassination plus the
Oh,
Berenstain Bears. Maybe just add one more.
it's a timeline brand takeover of when Kraft did a timeline thing they weren't supposed to and took over Stouffer's stovetop stuffing. That's the other one. Get me.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right then. And what led you to decide to create a Mandela Effect YouTube channel? And what was your first Mandela Effect you covered on it?
Excuse me. What started was because it was affecting people in my business, which is computer software for food distributors.
Mm.
I made a video about it in August of last year, and because my clients would call in and say, "Your software is there's something wrong. It keeps on changing the Haas avocados to Hass, and
Wow.
like it keeps changing Stouffer's stovetop stuffing to Kraft or back at whatever the cases were." And then there were other things that would happen as well, so that they would misremember like what the totals on report should be. In other words, how much, like if it was a sales report, for example, how much customers were buying wasn't making, like it's not what they remembered. So our tech department was spending a lot of time going through the data and showing that.
That could be serious. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Messing with your whole business like that. In your opinion, what do you believe is causing the Mandela Effect to happen?
I would say that in my opinion, the Mandela Effect has kind of always been here. And it is the result, in my opinion, of our consciousness transversing timelines. So depending on what timeline we were in, when we remember a certain event, like the Berenstain Bears, and then you switch into another timeline where it was never that, that causes the Mandela Effect, which is an indicator. I call them Easter eggs. It's like an Easter egg in a video game. It's an indicator. There's been a timeline shift. You just got a message, and then I like to read into the Mandela Effect too. Like, what do they mean? Like, so some people are like, "Oh, Mandela effects," and it's pretty obvious, but why? I want to go. I like to go beyond why. Like, why a certain?
Yeah, really. And do you believe there is a common thread or attribute among those affected?
Yes, frequency. Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. And that those of us that are at vibrating at a certain frequency, we're just a little bit more aware to notice them. Where other people, and it's not anything against anyone, because we're all at different places in our journey. But for other people, where their vibration is not the same, it just doesn't make any difference to them. Even if it's there, it's not going to make, and they'll even like walk away from you when you try to talk about it.
Wow. Oh yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, so
I've definitely noticed people's strange behavior, concerning the Mandela Effect. You would think at least they would be interested, but they seem like they're just real out and out, set in their ways, like no.
Yeah, you know what?
Nothing.
I'll go one step further with how I feel about this, and I got that confirmed by a friend of mine who's a psychic. He actually reads wake-up dates on people, and that wake up date is put there by their higher self, that it's almost like an expiration date, but the other way, like this person is not going to wake up until 2023 for whatever reason. That's the reason why. So if you try to wake someone up before their wake up date, it's just like it's not good for them. It's their
Wow.
soul will kind of reject it.
Okay.
They're not
Gotcha.
in the process. Yeah.
All right. And do you see the Mandela effect as a negative or positive phenomenon? And do you think it is beneficial to the affected in any way?
I think it's positive. Look at it, it got here with you three ladies. I'm on a show I thought I'd never do before. But I think that it's like, without these clues, I would have stayed asleep. I would have totally stayed asleep. I needed something like the Mandela effect to take me to like another level of, I'll call it a spiritual awakening if you want to use that term. But I needed that, because you could preach to me all day long. You could read Bibles, Torahs, whatever. I would have only given it so much attention. But when I see things change in front of me that I know it was a certain way and now it's different, that's like, boom, like that got my attention.
Yeah, I think it is a positive thing in a lot of ways. It's a very much a learning. And I was talking to Theresa and Sandy all the time about how we're learning more and more, and it's an experience that the thing that I think that is maybe it even though it may be a positive thing for us, that maybe it's a little more complicated than we may think it is all. That it's something bigger that real big out there. But that's something that's remains unknown too. So
yeah, because when you get to the next level of things, you begin to realize of the complexity of what's always been around us, but now we're starting to get tuned into it.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see, next question. I'm getting there. Okay. Has the Mandela effect affected your personal life and relationships in any way? For example, angering friends and family, or do you know people you can talk to that are also affected?
Yeah. So thank goodness for the whole Mandela Effect community. Number one, my relationship with my girlfriend at the time, back in 2017, when all this was happening to me, and I was having other things happen as well, she just was like, don't worry about these Mandela effects. Science will figure it out. And I'm like, science says I'm misremembering. And I know I'm not misremembering. So I'm not waiting for science. Like, I want to do what I can to start putting the puzzle pieces together. So it definitely ended that definitely ended that relationship. And then, it really, to me, it really makes sense. Well, it's called a signature frequency match, but when you have like a relationship with someone, like your good friends, a romantic relationship, your family, it's always going to be the best with those that are vibrating at the more similar frequency that you have.
Okay.
So it definitely was a separation. Like, I have friends that aren't they just kind of, not that they're not my friends, but they just kind of like dissipated. But all these new friends have come in. So.
Yes. Good. All right. And have you ever observed any changes happen in real time, whether an image changing in front of you, something in real life, geographical changes, etc.?
Yeah. There is all kinds of stuff that happened, like a timeline shift happens right there. Like, I was in my boys' bedroom maybe 4 or 5 months ago, putting them to bed, and one of the kids both kids were in their bed, and I heard a noise out the window. I looked out the window, and then I looked back, and the other boy was like coming out of the closet from the other side of the room. And this all happened within like 3 to 4 seconds. I'm like, when did you go in? When did you go into the closet? And he's like,
you know what? Oh yeah, that's happened with my cat before. I could have swore she wasn't like she's. Oh God, she just disappears and then comes out from somewhere. You just saw her. Oh my God, that's happened with my cat. Yes.
Yeah, and geography all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Houses pop up. I'm like, that house wasn't there, or it's a location. on my way home from work today, there was this church that always used to be set back from the road. Now it's like really close to the road. I'm like,
Mm.
come on, hologram.
Wow.
These are kind of furious now.
Oh. Yep. I hear you. Have you experienced any changes in yourself, such as changes in your appearance, health, personality, etc., since becoming affected?
Yeah, I would probably say so. Like different scars that have come and gone. That I'm like today, I noticed a scar on my forehead I've never had before, and other ones I've had are not there anymore. So definitely those types of things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. Have you experienced ringing in the ears, sleep disturbance, change in your sleep patterns, or any other changes in behavior since becoming affected?
I've got ringing in my ears right now.
Wow.
And sometimes if I like tune into it, I could feel that it's like more than one frequency. Sometimes it's like 2 or 3 frequencies going off at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That when we develop our clear audio skills, we'll actually be able to tune into what that communication is. And then you've got the Schumann resonance, the vibration of the earth, and it's all those different things that are coming in to affect us as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In your opinion, do you think the MEs are slowing down, speeding up, or vary throughout the year?
I think that they're speeding up, and I'm seeing a lot of like cover, like to make them not observant. So, like to give you an example, I went to the store today, which is an adventure with the quarantine and everything. So I go to the grocery store, and I just happened to be going down the aisle where there's the stovetop stuffing, and guess what? It doesn't say Kraft or Stouffer's at the top. They changed it to just say stovetop. And I find that a lot. I find there to be like a lot of times I'll find something and then the system does something to make try to nullify it. And sometimes I'll get real excited about something. So like I'll give you an example. At my office about 6 weeks ago, I do this thing called Mandela Mondays, and I guess it's everyone or other people do Mandela Mondays. So I do it with my staff. It's a really, really good one. On Sunday, I found it, and it was crazy. It said that a leap year was every 5 years. And I'm like, no, like what? A leap year is every 5 years. Everyone knows a leap year is every 4 years. So I went to present that at my staff meeting, and I called up the same Wikipedia page, and it switched back to 4 years. And I was like, it said 5 years yesterday, and it switched back.
Yeah, and it'll switch back. I've had those that happen. Yeah, definitely.
Or there'll be like a reason for like a change. Like there could be there's different song lyrics that have changed, and then you'll find something where there's a reason why it changed. It doesn't make any sense. No one's ever heard it before. So it's almost like the system is trying to cover up.
Yes, I've noticed that too. It's like somebody's behind it trying to like put it in your face, but yet at the same time, no. You can't see what's going on.
Yeah, like that song, like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Who is that white? I'm not sure who that is. So I guess like I was listening to it the other day, and it was like a hobo, and I'm like, no, it was always been drifter. And then when you look, when you investigate it, it says that 2 years after the song was released, they re-recorded it because too many people were getting hobo confused with homo, so they changed it. But it's like that was never there before. But it's like I feel like being observed, and sometimes like if they can make a switch to nullify something, that will happen.
Wow. Yeah, I remember Drifter now that you mention it.
Yeah, but if you look at it was originally hobo, and then they re-recorded the whole thing to be drifter.
I see.
But I remember when the original song came out. Like I was a teenager then. That was like cool, and I'm like, I know it didn't say. I know it was always drifter.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And do you think the changes to weather, cloud patterns, natural disasters, etc., are related to the Mandela effect?
Weather and cloud patterns. I've never actually given that thought, but I know geography is changing, and clouds do seem to look different every once in a while.
Right.
I can't give you. I haven't really thought about that angle.
See, I have. I feel like the atmosphere, the air and everything seems different to me. So I'm really sensitive to that.
Yeah, the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Even lately, the sun, like in the last couple of days, this is going to be weird, but there's a Mandela effect called a cloud bow. And it's like a rainbow in the clouds, and they're very rare. Well, yesterday I saw them in almost every cloud. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
something weird's going on with the sun, like rainbows and clouds. So it's like interesting things definitely going on.
Yes, yes, and they're different.
Like our sun itself is changing again.
Right.
That's
Yeah, maybe the sun's dying here where we are, but in our other reality, it wasn't. Maybe there's different ages of everything. Stuff.
I think of it as an upgrade. I think the sun's getting upgraded actually.
Okay.
I think Earth is awakening. I think the sun is getting upgraded, and Earth herself, her consciousness is rising as well. That's why the Schumann resonance is spiking.
It's like it could be very well where a nicer thing to have to upgraded, but people do miss the yellow sun. It's like they can't let go of that, and they're calling it a white, ugly, cold sun, kind of thing. But it's not. It's really. I think that in order for people to reach the upgrade to see what's really happening, it's a little painful, a little ugly, but it's not. But it's going that the outcome would probably be really good. Do you kind of see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and I think
as far as upgrades and
I think even our human body is being upgraded. So the Mandela effects that we have on our human body, which a lot of people already consider upgrades, because like our heart is now in the center of the chest, all of internal organs are in the rib cage, and blah blah blah, all these enhancements to the skull and all that. It's part of human evolution, as strange as that might sound. So,
and we feel it's strange, yes.
but we are actually getting better. Like I mean, there's a lot of things I could tell you about, like what I've learned and what my kind of belief system is with all this. But yeah, I feel like there's another version of human, that's going to be that's we're in the process of going into, and we're seeing that by anatomy changes, which are all positive. I don't know of any anatomy changes that are Mandela effects that are negative that I'm aware of.
Okay. And do you believe the laws of physics may be changing?
I believe in quantum physics, and I believe that there's something called the heliosphere. So the heliosphere is what pretty much surrounds our solar system, and I believe that there's things going on with our actual solar system, and that's actually another way to look at things, because there's actually Mandela effects going on within the solar system as well. Like all the new moons that Jupiter had. I remember Jupiter had 18 moons at one point. Now it's got like 70 something moons, and all these planets have rings on them. I remember just Saturn had rings. Now other planets have rings. So it goes beyond that. And then the laws, like Einstein's laws, seem to work well in the solar system or within the heliosphere. And then outside of that, they kind of break down. They don't seem to make sense anymore. So I believe there's going to be like new understandings when it comes to the reality rules that we experience here on Earth and within the solar system versus what's outside the solar system. Yeah, so that's what I'm feeling.
All right, sounds good. Hold on, I think I'm having
1 second.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
I'm having a little problem.
I don't know if you're sticking around after the interview, but I'm going to be showing a new body change that I found, and I can show it first in case you have to leave. But it's funny you brought up the body changes, because I have a brand new one tonight. But go on. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I thought I was having some problems with my computer, but it's okay now. And okay, next question. I'll go into we're almost done with the questions here, but got two more. Okay. Do you see anything happening in the future, either related to or because of the Mandela effect?
If I see anything in the future because of the Mandela effect,
Yeah, happening, something bigger or whatever. It's just, where's the future going with all this?
I believe there's big stuff on the way. I don't know exactly what it is, but some things are like very suspicious. So I'll give you an example. So I talk about the concept of timelines and negative timeline insertions and positive timeline insertions. And one of the things that just happened over the last few weeks was about a new comet that's entered the solar system, Comet Swan. By the way, it's like already flying past Mars or something, and we just found it like a few weeks ago. Like they're searching for these things all the time. But I believe that like the Comet Swan, it's letting out this big trail of hydrogen water vapor. I believe there's something really good involved with that. So I believe that there are Mandela effects, which are positive, which are being inserted into our reality, or we've shifted into a reality where that whatever that is manifesting itself, and that'll be for the benefit of humanity. Exactly what it is, I don't know yet, but there's just like this year, there's like so many things going on. It's really hard to see how they all come together. But I know when we look back on this, like a couple of years from now, we're going to be like, oh, that's why that happened, and that's why that happened, and et cetera, et cetera.
All right. Yes. And is there anything you'd like to add or tell us that we didn't ask you?
No, you've asked me a lot of good questions. I'm just gonna like sit back and join the conversation and see how it goes. Thank you, though.
Okay, and anyone have any questions for the guests? Maybe Sandy, you can look at the questions.
Yeah, well, I have a couple already. And guys, if you have a question, please put it in the chat. The first question comes from Chancellor Napa. He asks, do you think the multiverse theory comes into play with the Mandela effect?
Yes, I believe that our universe is within a multiverse. Absolutely. I don't know if I can give you an exact answer of how the Mandela effect is connected to the multiverse, but I know that within every universe, there are multiple infinite timelines that are also existing. It's very complicated. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
All right, the next question comes from Gerald Neal. He asks, do you find any connection between the Mandela effect and the virus?
And the what?
Virus. COVID-19.
Oh, the coronavirus.
Well, okay. So to me, I'll just go one step. I've never heard of coronaviruses before. I guess it's all the thing, but I've heard of like SARS. I've heard of it like expressed as like the actual name of the virus, but I've never heard the term coronavirus. And so when I first heard about it, I'm like, what is a coronavirus? And I did some research, and there was actually a coronavirus of New Haven, Connecticut. Now, I live next to New Haven, Connecticut. In 2005, I'd have to check again, there was some coronavirus outbreak that broke out here. I don't know about that. And back in 2005, I was like a news junkie. Like I was listening to the news all the time. So to me, just the term coronavirus is actually new. I've never heard that before. So, and when they first started talking about it on the news,
I didn't either. You're not alone.
Okay, good. So I'm not alone. But now it's like, yeah, coronavirus. I'm like, no, I never heard of that before.
Okay, I believe I vaguely remember coronavirus being related to colds, something having to do with colds.
And
a long time ago. I don't know.
Can I tell you, remember colds being called? They were called the rhinovirus. At least that's what I remember hearing it called.
Okay. And that's
just like our nose is a rhinoplasty.
Okay, I might have had that mixed up with that. I don't know, but it just sounded familiar. Like, and it made me think of colds. So, who knows?
You know what?
It could have been that for you, but that's. I'm with Chris on this one. Coronavirus. It was always the rhinovirus for the cold, the common cold.
Yeah, that's why, like, when I saw it on the side of a Lysol can, I'm like, oh, Lysol, like, it's a conspiracy. They always, but no, like, it's in this particular timeline, I guess your dog and cat can get a coronavirus, and coronaviruses are the thing. I never heard of it before. I just haven't. So that's where I come to it. And by the way, I have to say something really funny, because I'm talking and you guys both have masks on either side. I feel like I'm going to be going under surgery. So just make sure you get enough anesthesia, please.
Oh, I know.
That's funny.
There's Teresa. Did you hear that, Teresa? Did you hear that about the masks? What he said?
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay,
I know.
can I vent for something real quick?
Go
Go ahead.
In Connecticut, where I
Sure.
live, all humans age 2 and up have to wear a mask in public. And I'm like, really? You're gonna make like a 2 or 3-year-old kid wear a mask? And like they're spreading the fear virus to the kids, because it's like, can you imagine how any counseling in the future? You know, mommy and daddy were afraid of this virus. I had to wear this mask all the time. Like this is getting to be too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
just can imagine how to explain to them what's going on, you know, when they're really young.
I agree with you 100%. It's going to affect these kids. It's going to traumatize them.
I think they're doing that kind of like on for a reason. It's just like they're trying to spread the fear everywhere.
Yeah, I think and then they excuse it with all these excuses, and they're really doing the right thing, you know, completely. So it's hard to argue, and you know, I don't know. See what they're doing is going to work. That's the only way. I don't know.
I got a question.
I still think that
What I don't understand is.
I do believe people should wear masks, but I think that they should let people work and wear masks, and then that would probably solve a lot of it. But these people aren't going to cooperate. They're going to not wear their masks, and I don't know. What can I say? You know, I think that would be the best thing to. Go ahead.
I have a question for you, Chris.
Sure.
One of the questions she asked you was about what we had in common. Have you noticed that a lot of the community, including myself, are empaths? And you were talking about being open. And I've noticed that during the Mandela Effect, when I woke up in 2016, that being an empath, I feel things more stronger. And I wanted to know if any of your, maybe if you have any kind of abilities or special gifts or anything that might have opened up and got stronger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's all part of the journey that I've been going through. We're all going to be going through it. We all have different pace that we're going through things. But yeah, empathy is one thing that I've like had to learn how to control, because it's almost like I had the empathy knob turned all the way up. So like I would feel everything from anybody that I was around. So I had to like learn to like turn that knob down a little bit. And then I imagined a couple other knobs. One was like good empathy and bad empathy. So if I'm going to feel empathy, I want to feel the good emotions, and I want to turn down the like negative ones. So I've been trying to work on that a little bit. And sometimes I feel like I'm just
it's hard.
It's hard. And sometimes I'll get a feeling that like I'll be by myself. Like let's say I'm walking out to the parking lot to go to my car all by myself. I'll get a feeling of like fear and being scared. And I'm like, that's not me. Like, I know that it's not my feeling. It's almost like I'm helping the collective, or somehow I'm helping others like handle their fear. Because I'm like, why do I feel that way? And I know it's not coming from me. I'm picking up the frequency someplace else.
Yeah.
Transmute it myself.
Do you ever feel like your energy gets drained being around negative people? Because that happens to me a lot. I'll
Mm-hmm.
be in a great mood and I'll get around somebody who's negative, and it's like they suck the life out of me, all my positive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the
Right.
heck just happened to me? I went from
Yeah.
being happy to being depressed because I felt like they just sucked all my
Yeah.
positive energy out of me. Like, nope, you're not going to be positive. I'm
I
taking it
get
from
that.
you.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that happens to me a lot.
You
Yeah,
know, yeah, you're just being bubbly, and you don't see anything wrong with anything going on. People just, yeah, I know, complain about something, and yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah,
best you can do with that is just try to be with your alike kind, minded,
Yeah,
and just away from those
yeah.
kind.
there's also some stuff like I've been learning things about frequency, and at some point I hope to teach this
Okay.
as well. But basically, like shields up. Like so, if somebody is like a an energy thief, um, you
Yes.
don't have to succumb to that. You don't have to like agree with that. And there are things. See, I believe it goes beyond like what we actually see. Like we have higher selves and they talk to each other. As a matter of fact, I believe that right now we have higher selves, which is like our soul or like a level above us that's doing commerce with each other. Like we're actually trading with each other. Like, so what could we be trading? We could have different activations. We could have books of knowledge. There's a lot of things that are going on that right now it kind of seems like that's kind of crazy talk. But I really strongly believe that it's going to, these things will be revealed, and it's almost like it's a game. It always comes
Hmm.
Wow.
to me like I always call it the Earth game. Like we are
Yeah.
having existence like that. And
Games aren't bad. You don't have to think
yeah,
it's bad either. They can be good.
and it's not to cheapen the experience either. It's not to say, oh, life is a game. Don't take it seriously. Not at all. Like we're here to learn and grow and evolve and be creators.
Yes.
And the Mandela Effect is an example of creation. And if you're going to be a responsible creator and manifester, you need to like understand how to properly do it so that you're not harming others. It's always for the greater good. You never want to do anything that's a service to self. So that's another part of this whole equation.
Wow.
Guys, I have a
Hmm.
lot of questions in the chat. I don't want to lose them, so we start
Okay,
asking.
Okay.
go ahead.
The
Go
first
ahead.
Keep
Go
one
ahead
going.
and
is from,
ask Chris.
all right, Ben Lightened asks, Chris, are you familiar with the augmented reality game Ingress? It's very similar to what you have been doing, traveling to various places, doing work on ley lines and the quantum field.
Yeah, I heard about that just actually recently. But yes, isn't that something about how there's a whole unseen aspect of things? And yeah, so by the way, thank you because you saw that video that I made. So thank you for doing that. And it's really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of like Nazi stuff that I talk about and so forth, and that castle that I went to, and Nazis are like fascinated with King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and that whole concept. So if you think about it, if they got time travel technology, where do you think the first place is they're going to travel to? Probably back to Camelot or, to the days of King Arthur for whatever reason. So, but there are things going on and places you can do. They call it grid work, where you can do something to help the planet, and it is kind of like a game because if you go and you do certain things, it's called like a bounty. You'll get like a bounty for it. So if you help Earth or do something in a certain way, like then you might get an upgrade to be better with growing plants, be more of a green thumb or whatever the particular situation was. But yeah, so that whole Ingress concept is very similar to what myself and others are doing and have been doing for a long time. But now it's going to start to intensify. I believe there's going to be a lot more things that people start to get. It's going to come into their awareness, and there'll be places that people want to visit. They may not be sure why they want to go someplace on a solar eclipse, or they want to do this, but their higher self knows, and their higher self usually has a plan. And usually you'll find the right people to do it with. Like you like magnetically attract the right people, and you get a team that's put together. And but yes, that's a good question and a good way to express some of the stuff that I've been doing and what others are doing.
Okay, I have two questions from Chancellor Napa. The first one is actually for all of us. Has anyone changed their diet due to the Mandela effect? I haven't. So all of you need to answer.
I mean, I'll go next. My diet has been changing as my frequency has going up, and this is like not to like say anything, whatever, but I've been finding that it's really hard for me to eat cows and pigs lately, and chickens lately. I seem to be okay with fish, and turkey still better watch out, but like I'm not as much of I just don't have a desire for it. Like I'd rather not even eat meat, but I don't know if that has to do with the Mandela effect or Schumann resonance, or they're all interconnected, but that's my personal experience.
I need to go again because you just reminded me of something. I guess it has, because that's weird. I will eat chicken, but I'm eating chicken more than anything else. I'll eat fish too, but I haven't eaten like burgers and stuff as often. So maybe, but I don't. It wasn't conscious. If anything, it was unconscious. Teresa and Curiouser?
Well, I've been vegetarian on and off all my life. So, but last 20 years I've been vegetarian. I wish I was vegan, but I can't do it. I can't bring myself to not eat cheese and dairy. So I kind of go ahead and try. I do the best I can. The least, the better. But yeah. So that's.
It's funny that you guys say chicken, because guess what I'm eating right now? I mean, chicken. Like,
stop that eating.
But my appetite has been weird. I mean, I'll tell Sandy that there's sometimes I just don't feel like eating. Like I'll come home and I'll be like, I don't feel like eating, and I'll go to bed. When there's other times my appetite is like crazy. Like right now, I'm eating garlic chicken wings, but my appetite goes on and off. But I have noticed with the Mandela effect, I'm thirsty a lot. Like I'm literally like craving. I drink more Coke now than I ever did. I'm always thirsty in the middle of the night. No matter how much water I drink, I can't get enough water. So, in a way, my appetite and my thirst has changed for me. And my sleep patterns are crazy. Like, Sandy knows that one. Right, Sandy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm sleeping, yeah.
All right, so the next question is... Oh, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Teresa, are you done? Okay. All right, so the next question is also for Chancellor Napa. Do you think the government is trying to spread fear to lower our vibrational frequency as a whole?
Is that a question for me? Because I'm gonna.
Yeah, these are all for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say without a doubt. Yes, it is in their best interest to try to lower our frequency to stop the ascension of humankind to get to the next level. Fear is the best way to do it, and fear is always from weakness. If you want to control someone, you try fear. Like that's the best way to control someone, is you got to scare them. But that's always. And now I'm back. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Are you guys still there?
Yeah, it was kind of.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
okay now.
I started talking about that.
You're talking about fear scaring people.
Yeah.
Scaring people with fear.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's not.
I agree with you.
But that's what they're doing. Absolutely. But it's
I'm 100%.
We're too smart for them. Most of us are.
We're very smart. We know what's going on.
Exactly.
I just think we should stop messing around with things. They're messing with the animals, the nature, everything, and we're going to get in big trouble. We're not going to be a very happy species when we keep doing that.
Yeah.
It just. we could be much happier
And
if
what are they
if we
blaming?
just leave stuff alone. Huh?
And they're like blaming this virus on bats. I'm like, Ozzy Osbourne's
I
been.
don't believe that, but
He's-
just the whole idea.
I
I don't
think
believe
the greatest thing is like that it's from a bat, but I don't.
Where do you think it came from, Chris? Originally, the virus.
I'm just talking about the idea. I think probably it's just it's either nature or maybe it was invented by someone.
Yeah, I think it kind of grew up in a lab, and may
Yeah.
have had another purpose. But I think that their purpose for it is not. It's not happening the way, like the death count is not going the way they wanted it to go. And so people are going to start smartening up that it's not quite as bad as a regular flu. And I'm sorry if that sounds controversial, but
Well, we agree with you.
oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no,
the flu is
actually, can I tell you
waivers.
something? My aunt was diagnosed with it. My aunt's 94 years old, and she's doing well. Like she's diagnosed. She's had it for about a week. She was diagnosed. Like it took a week for the test results to come back. But she's had it now, diagnosed for 2 days. And they have her on an Ebola drug, not the malaria drug they were talking about before, an Ebola drug, an old one. And her temperature's normal. She's eating. She's not in bed. She's doing well. So,
Wow.
94 years old.
Yeah, that says a lot. I know I have a nanny for my boys, and she was telling me that her sister, who's 40, in France, was diagnosed with it. She was sick for 3 days, and then on the fourth day, she felt fine. She was cleaning the house. So it more and more is like the flu. It's like the flu. So boogeyman, the flu. But I think it grew up in a lab, and I think it has another purpose. You know, people talk about its relationship with 5G technology and et cetera, et cetera. I think the problem is the vaccine. Like they're pushing this to get us to be like, oh my goodness, we need to have science rescue us, you know, with the vaccine. And then I think the vaccine is actually what the end game of all of this, to be honest with you. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Molvox asks, how can mankind raise their vibration? It's actually a two-part question. So that one first.
Well, I will say that ready or not, your vibration is going to rise. And if your vibration is not going to rise, then there has to be a 3D solution, which usually means dropping the body and going on to into the next reincarnation cycle. Depends on what that person's higher self wants, what's best for who they are. So in my opinion, it's going to be happening anyway, but there's all kinds of things we can do to increase that, like stop drinking alcohol. Like alcohol just brings your vibration right down, like boom. That's why they call it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, spirits can take over. So your diet makes a difference. Try not to eat so much meat. I mean, we all need protein, but just be mindful of that. And just by observing the Mandela effect, you're already, that's evidence that you're already vibrating at a higher frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And don't stop asking questions. Like keep having critical thinking, keep asking questions. Anything to kind of bring us to the next level, anything that helps expand our consciousness.
Yes.
Okay. So the second part of the question is, how does meditation fit in with the Schumann vibration?
Yeah. I mean, some people have been seeing a correlation, right, between like mass meditations and Schumann resonance rises. The Schumann resonance is an indication of Earth and her consciousness expansion. So when she expands, we expand, and when we expand, she expands.
Can I just say, I'd like to mention that actually you can you can meditate anytime, anywhere. It's just all you have to do is relax and kind of feel how you're breathing. And but I was told that which I like to share with people. You don't have to sit there and you know put your hands in a certain way or something. You can actually just meditate wherever you are, anywhere. You can be riding your bicycle, meditating, and it doesn't have to be for lengthy periods of time either. So I just wanted to mention that.
Some people might be meditating right now and
Yeah, yes, I know. Could be.
The next question is, do you ever feel, this comes from Burgos, do you ever feel like we've been transferred from a faulty matrix onto a very similar one, but not quite exact?
Yeah, there's artificial timelines in the Phantom Matrix, which is a terminology that some people like. They go like another level of this understanding what's going on, but yes, false timelines exist. If any are still running, they need to be healed, collapsed, and merged into a legit timeline. I believe that even a lot of us I think even myself, I've been on artificial timelines in my past that were not quite real. So I definitely believe in that whole concept of artificial timelines, and they gotta go.
I can't write and look for questions at the same time. So I'm just going to say, digital scribe, yes, I found that Mandela Effect. He's asking about O.J. Simpson. For anyone who doesn't know about it, well, first of all, I remember, actually, let me ask you, Chris, because I don't know if you know this one. Do you remember the O.J. Simpson trial?
Sure.
Do you know what Johnny Cochran's famous line was?
Yeah, hold on. If the glove fits or something like that. It was about the glove, right? Oh, you must have quit.
Yes.
Yes. Wait, hold on a second. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit or something. Maybe I don't know it as well as I should.
It's okay. I do know it very well, and it has changed for me. It was, for me, it was, if the glove don't fit, he said it like this: if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Just like that. I can hear it in my head, clear as day.
Yeah.
But now it is what you just said: if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. And Johnny Cochran didn't talk like that.
No,
He was
I
healing.
he doesn't.
He just didn't talk like that.
Right.
But he also talks about the hat. I don't even remember a hat, but he has OJ try on a black hat. I don't remember this, and that glove actually fits very well. But they make him wear a rubber glove underneath so that it won't go on right. I don't know. The whole thing is wrong. I covered it on Mandela Monday about 6 months ago now, but that's what I think Digital Intel was. And if I misunderstood you, Digital Intel, please be more specific in the chat. But there's more questions. I'm trying to find them. They're just flying up. Here we go. Where this comes from, Ben Lightened. Where do you learn to do ley line work? Do you meditate on a particular outcome in a group setting while in the physical location?
So the first thing is to identify the location. And then the next thing is, what are you going to do when you go there? And what authority do you have to do whatever it is you need to do? So one of the things that I found is I had to like work my way up. So one of my housemates here, his name is Sean Bond. He's a psychic, and he does that kind of work. And we started off very basic. Like we would look for chakra points and different. So the earth has different. Like he could see like energy coming up out of the earth, So we would like drive around town, and there would be like a little like they call it a first octave chakra in someone's front lawn. And so we created something that we would, it was like a sacred water type thing that we would go there, and it would help us do the grid work. So we're like going on people's lawns, and somebody called the police on us one time. But then we started to see the results of what we were doing. So these chakras can start off with like what's called a first octave, and then it goes up to like the 12th and 13th octave, and then it becomes another bigger chakra. So we were doing all this work around Connecticut where we would find these and build them up. And then as we would do more and more work, we would find bigger ones to go to, and we would find bigger locations to go to. So it's almost like, for a lot of people, especially for myself, I had to go through like a training program, and starting off very small, and then as Earth allowed it, other bigger ones would be revealed into like some really big ones that we dealt with when we went to Germany. So that's kind of a little bit of a synopsis. And it's always good if you can work with someone else that at least has an interest in it. If someone knows how to do dowsing, that's a really good start too. And there's like a whole dowsing society. You can begin to learn how to do that. So, and these are the things that I think are going to become more and more important in the future, because Earth's grid system is actually changing. It actually can move and is moving. So even a lot of locations where pyramids were built, those are not the big points anymore, because there have been changes since the days of Atlantis in the grid system. So there's going to be a new way, and people are going to start rediscovering new points to access the energy of Earth.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is a question for you or if this was a question for the chat, so I'm going to ask it anyway. At Bobby Chicken says, do you agree with QAnon?
I honestly don't follow him. I've definitely heard of the name, and I probably have heard of some of the stuff he's revealed, but I'm not a good person to talk to about that, because I just don't know.
Yeah, same. All right, Gerald Neal asks, focusing on really obvious MEs like the Ford logo curly Q, are there any interpretations of differences like the curly Q?
For other,
I don't know if I understand the question. I'm not sure if I understand the question, so if you don't understand, I can ask Gerald to elaborate.
well, I know obviously the curly Q is like really, it's interesting, and I've even heard the stories about like the owner of the Ford dealership for like 50 years, calls Ford and says, "Why'd you change all the signs on me last night? Why?" Because I've been looking at the logo for the last 50 years, and I didn't have the curly Q on there. And then Ford, of course, is like, "It's always been that way, sir. What's going on?" I even called the Scotch Guard people, because like Scotch Guard is now spelled GARD, and I know it was not spelled that way. So I actually had called them, and they're like, "Sir, it's been that way since 1952." I'm like, "No, it wasn't. I remember." And I actually had bottles of
Oh
Scotch
my God.
in my closet, and when I bought it, it was GAURD, and now it's GARD. So I was being a little smart, but it was fun.
Yeah, when Teresa and I used to stream on Brian McFarland's channel, the two of them would frequently call up places on air, like the whole Nutty Buddy, I forget what the other name for it is, the Little Debbies. They call them up to find out about the name change, and the woman on the phone was even confused because she said it's both, and she was just confused by it, and she worked for the company. But yes, it's amazing when you're in the company. I don't know. It just blows my mind that they don't even notice it.
Exactly.
They work there and they don't even see it. It blows my mind.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's a question that I've never heard of. Maybe you have. This comes from Ben Lighton. Have you ever heard of reality trans surfing?
reality trans surfing? I know. That's interesting.
Yes.
Maybe I'd like to do it. But I don't know.
I'll have to look it up.
This is not dangerous, but I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. And I think this is the last question, and it's for all of us. That's why I saved it. Let's see. Oh, Gerald Neal is elaborating, saying the curly Q. The root question is why add a curly Q in particular? Why do you think that's what changed on the logo?
Yeah, so that is what changed for most people. Went from the straight line in the F to having like the curly Q on it. And there's been some pretty interesting things that people have discovered about like the meanings behind when a logo changes. Like there's another meaning behind it. I personally haven't spent any time thinking or reading into that, but a lot of times people can find patterns. Some really clever things people have found, like with the Volkswagen logo, and I actually had posted something on my Quantum Business Book page that if you took the on Facebook, if you took the Volkswagen logo and you spun it, it turns into a swastika, which is like very interesting. I didn't expect that to happen. So yeah, there's definitely hidden things when it comes to that. And one thing I want to caution people about. So I'll give you an example with like Verizon, which is like a mobile phone company here in the States. I always remember the Verizon logo with the check mark being above the I. So instead of where the dot was, it was the check mark up there. So now the check mark is all the way to the right after the letter N in Verizon. So, and I spotted that because in the plaza where I go grocery shopping, there's a Verizon store, and I spotted this a couple of years ago. All of a sudden, the logo changes. So I mentioned this to somebody in the Mandela Effect community, and she's like, "Oh, that's a legit logo change. I see that, 5 years ago, or whatever it was, Verizon changed the logo." And I'm like, so I just discounted it. So then I decided to go in just to verify what it was before. And before, they changed it from the check mark being under the word Verizon. So it wasn't even what I remember it being the dot above the I was the check mark. Now the check mark's below the whole it was below the whole word. So my point in saying this is that even when someone says like, oh, that's not a Mandela effect, that's a legit logo change, still check it anyway, because the logo that it was before may still not have been the logo that it could have been an even weirder logo. Excuse me.
Or it could be what I started calling a time Mandela effect, where you remember it, say, in high school in the 90s, but they actually changed the logo in 1975. You see what I'm saying? Where it changed at a different time than you remember it changing. So it's a legit logo change with the company, but they changed it much sooner than you remember it changing, if that makes sense. Like Cup of Noodles. Cup of Noodles is now Cup Noodles. It's a legit change. However, I have a strong memory of Cup O Noodles in 1997. I was at my ex-boyfriend's house, at his apartment in the kitchen. We were making Cup O Noodles. I remember looking at the container, clear as day, but the company changed it in 1993, 4 years earlier. So that to me is a time Mandela effect. And then there are people who remember it in 2005.
That is a great example of one. I remember Cup O Noodles like 4 years ago, taking some to my son who had started college. He liked Cup of Noodle, and I brought him a case of Cup O Noodles. So so that's a really good point. Thanks for saying that, Sandy.
Yeah, so that's a time Emmy. It's the best name I got for it, because it's like a time slip, or the company decided to change it sooner in this reality.
Yeah,
I lied. There's actually 2 more questions, unless there's more that were added. I'm still saving the one for all of us from Chancellor Napa, but the next one's from ND. Christopher, do you have a positive personal timeline insertion that you could share with us? It's a great theory. To me, it's the yin and the yang of the Mandela Effect.
Do I have one in particular? Um, yeah, I mean, there's the ones that I've publicly spoken about. A lot of them are related to World War II type stuff, where one thing happens and that something negative happens that was never there before, like the Nazis having a big rally in New York City in Madison Square Garden in 1939. That was kind of negative. But then the positive part of that was that there was this Jewish plumber named Isidore Greenbaum who had snuck in, and he listened to, like, he sat through 3 hours of them trashing the Jews. And then he got close to the stage and he pulled the microphone cables away, and the SS grabbed him and beat him up and everything. Everyone saw how the Nazis treated someone, especially because he was Jewish. He didn't get any good treatment there. So to me, it's like that was the negative was them trying to enlist support from within the United States for Germany. But then how they treated someone who didn't even really do anything bad. He just tried to pull the cables a little bit, and that was it. They ripped his pants off. They broke his nose. They gave him a black eye. The New York City police officers had to, like, pull him away. But it was positive because it changed people's perception about what the Nazis were about. Same thing with, like, Charlie Chaplin, what he did with his films. He made Hitler look silly and ridiculous at a time when the world needed that, at a time when Poland and most of Europe and the Soviet Union was in fear. Laughter was the counter chess move for that to happen. And there seems to be, like, all kinds of these types of things that have been happening throughout history. And sometimes things that you think were negative, like one of the things I brought out in one of my last videos was about Watergate. Like, we thought that, like, Watergate, like, how can that be negative? How could that be a positive timeline insertion? But it was. And this is based upon what Philip K. Dick wrote. And Philip K. Dick wrote, like, The Terminator, Blade Runner, Man in the High Castle. He wrote all those different films. When he had this press conference in 1977, and he said that Watergate saved us. He said that if it wasn't for Watergate, Richard Nixon was on the path to creating George Orwell's 1984 version of a police state. And because Watergate had got him to be removed from office, he voluntarily resigned from office, that changed the timelines. But Philip K. Dick was very, very certain in saying that there was other timelines that ran where Watergate never happened, where the police state manifested, and we became a total police state here in the United States. And we're kind of like trying to, like, it looks like things are trying to push us back into that direction again, but we're not going to let that happen. So those are some examples. I don't have, if I sat and thought about it, I probably could come up with some more, but those are just some of the things at this moment.
Okay. This is a two-part question for all of us from Chancellor Napa. The first one is, does anyone ever feel displaced?
Displaced? Like, not like,
yeah, like you don't belong here.
Yeah,
I think that's what he means.
somewhat.
Like, you don't belong here, like, in this timeline.
yeah, I'll speak for myself first. I'm going to say that sometimes, like, if you feel like I feel like I'm going into a false or artificial timeline, or I have in the past, I'll get feelings like that. I'll be like, something's not right. Just something's not right.
I agree with that. You guys, Curious or Teresa, you guys gonna answer?
Oh yeah. Can I
Teresa,
say
we're
something?
gonna we both know I get these feelings I don't belong a lot. I just feel like the strangeness of how people are like being, especially with the Mandela Effect, they won't acknowledge it. The things that are just being in a strange place that's different from how it was is can make you feel, whether it's bad or good place. It's not the the question, but it can make you feel like you don't belong. Yeah, I definitely get those feelings. Yes. Go ahead, Teresa.
Mine is kind of different than yours in a way. Is Sandy remembers me telling her the story a couple months before I woke up in 2016. I felt very off, and Sandy knows the whole story. I told her I felt really weird, like about 3 to 4 months before I actually woke up, and I just didn't feel like I belonged here. And I knew something big was coming. I just didn't know what. The sky was like shimmering when I looked at it. Things were not focused in like I was used to seeing everything focused in. And I said, "There's something coming big. I just don't know what it is." So I had a pre-awakening before I woke up. I knew something was coming. It's the only way I can explain it. And I still don't feel like we belong.
Well,
It's
just
not my reality.
before this, I would have a lot of feelings of doom, impending doom. A lot of feelings for that. I don't know. Did you guys ever feel that? Like, if you can, think back 4 or 5 years ago, did you feel like something big's going on? Something big's going to happen? I would have that a lot.
Yeah. I actually told Sandy, if Sandy remembers, I had told her the story that I had told Brian and Sandy about. I felt there was something coming, and I think it was this coronavirus. I felt it, right, Sandy?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a comment. Wizardry, I don't see it. Please retype it.
Sandy?
Yeah, Teresa, I'm sorry.
You remember when I told you this comment months ago that I had this feeling inside of me that something was coming, but it wasn't like an earthquake or a natural disaster or something like that. It was something different.
Yes.
And it was this. It was a coronavirus. I felt this. So now I know why I felt this way. It was a terrible feeling, like I knew it was coming.
Do you think that was it, Teresa? Do you think you really
yes,
think
I
it's?
do. Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Because mine was more like it had everything to do with nature. I felt like it was something natural. So I don't know.
Don't you think? I mean, this coronavirus is not weather related. It's not an earthquake.
I
It's
know.
not a volcano. This is something that we haven't had. And if you think about it, in 100 years, I mean, it just seems like every 100 years, some kind of something comes. You know what I mean? Like something huge.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can expect the other side to pull something else out of their bag of tricks, because I don't think this is working as wonderfully as I hoped it would with the virus thing. I honestly do. And I think like something is going to happen. We've got these incoming comets. We have like this virus that's unprecedented. There's just so many things that are going on that I think it's logical to assume that we're at the beginning of some very interesting things. Maybe there'll be some kind of even ET contact, or we'll see more things.
I thought about that.
Have you? Yeah. So there's
thought about it. I wonder if they're going to do like a fake alien. What do they call that? Like a fake alien invasion? Like something like that?
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yes. Yeah, I've heard about those type of concepts.
Yeah. Yeah. Even my non-ME boss, who's my friend, he mentioned it to me, and he's a little awake, but not much. But he mentioned that to me one day, and I was like looking at him like, why would he say something like that? You know? And then he asked me something else a few weeks ago. He said, hey, in your group, he says, how many people think this is real? And I said, some do, some don't. And it was funny the way he asked me that, because he goes, do you know anybody who has it? And I'm like, no. And he said, he asked his boss, who's my boss, do you know anybody who has it? So he was kind of leery about this coronavirus. But as we know, more people are knowing people that have it, right? You guys? So.
But yeah, my aunt has it.
Yeah. But which is like, okay, that proves that it is real,
Right.
but is it as bad as people are saying it is? You know?
I mean, like I said, she's 94 years old and she's doing well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. What about you, Chris? Do you know anybody related to you, friends, that has this actually that you know? I mean,
No,
can you actually say that?
I just know of people that know of people that know of people.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
like my nanny's sister
Yeah.
died for a few days, and that's probably the biggest. See, like when
Wow.
the towers fell in 2001,
Hmm.
almost 1,000 people were killed. Because I lived near that area, like almost everybody knew somebody that was affected. But
That's true. That's
with
true.
this, with this though, I think the death count's supposed to be much higher, but no one seems to know anyone that, like, oh yeah, my friend's sister's brother's cousin's whatever, uh,
But
or
another thing that they're doing is, Sandy knows about this too, is people who are not even dying from the coronavirus, they're counting it as a coronavirus,
yes,
right? Does that make sense, Sandy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that.
Yes, exactly. You read my mind. Yep. And it's like, wait a minute, they didn't die from the coronavirus. They died from a heart attack, but they want to count it in as a coronavirus. I'm like, no, that's like saying she died of cancer, but she really died of something else,
Yeah, there was some kind of report where
we lost the host.
everyone's
The
dropping off.
host has disappeared, and
So,
it's Teresa now.
soon it's just going to be me, and I'll oh, everyone's back.
Curious, sir.
Hello?
Welcome back, guys.
She
Sorry,
kicked me out too.
Chris and Sandy show. I'm sorry. I got disconnected. Yes, I got disconnected.
okay now.
I'm
I
sitting.
can't hear Curiouser. No, we're not.
Can you hear?
Curiouser, talk.
Hello?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Is she
Can
talking?
anyone hear me?
I can hear her.
I hear you.
Oh
Okay.
boy, I have to leave.
I can hear you.
I can't
All right,
hear
Sandy,
her.
leave and then come
I have
back.
to
Sandy
leave.
will leave.
All right, I'm going to ask the question, then I'm going to leave and come back because I can't hear her. So,
Okay.
the question is from Chancellor Napa: has anybody seen anything unique in their dreams? Unique as in encountering things you've never encountered. I'll be back.
Chris, go ahead.
Have I seen anything in my dreams that I've never encountered? Probably at
Strange
least.
things.
Oh, strange things.
Or different, like and unique.
I wish I could remember my dreams better. I know my dreams are quite interesting, and after I first wake up, I'm like, "Whoa, that was quite the dream." But then like I forget what it is, so I'm not really good at that question. What about you guys?
My dreams have been, I used to have different kind of dreams, but since the Mandela Effect, they've been a lot different.
Oh,
they've been different. I don't dream as much as I used to, which is weird. I used to dream almost every night. And then sometimes I don't dream at all. A lot of times I don't even remember my dreams, but I used to. Long time ago, I remember every detail of my dream. And now it's like, I wake up and I'm like, what did I dream of? I can't remember them as well as I used to, which is weird.
I myself, I haven't noticed anything unusual with my dreaming at all. I always have these funny kind of humorous dreams that strange, weird, and humorous, and they've always been like that. And I can't say that the times when I was dreaming really interesting dreams, I was always younger for some reason. It was in my youth where I was these amazing, interesting dreams. And now I don't get, they're just kind of just the same old. So, and when I remember them, I like to try to remember them, but, and some of them, every once in a while, will have one that's meaningful. And, so, like a prediction or whatever you want to call it, having to do with my life, but
like premonition.
Yeah, kind of.
I've never had any premonition dreams. Have you, Chris?
I can't say that I have.
Sandy, where are you?
Mhm.
Sandy, she's not.
Sandy, there's always only been 3 of us here. Are you Mandela?
No, I'm from another timeline where Sandy was here.
I don't remember.
Hey, hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. You know one of the questions that Curious asked you earlier about watching things change in real time?
Mm.
I've had that. I had that happen to me a lot. Not recently, but at first I was having it happen a lot. I even had a girl's T-shirt. I went out to eat. This is really gonna freak you out. You want to hear it? It's a weird story. You want to hear it?
Sandy, hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's hear it.
There's more questions
You're maskless.
in the chat. So quick, go ahead, Teresa. Just I have to ask another question.
More questions?
Teresa? Yeah, there's more questions in the chat.
Can you hear Sandy,
go ahead.
Teresa?
Go ahead. You said you wanted to talk about a story. Yeah, I can hear everybody. Yeah. Teresa, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Teresa?
Is she there?
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I was going to tell him about
Oh.
Sandy. You already know the story. Remember the T-shirt one when I went out to eat breakfast? Okay, I'll tell it.
I don't
So,
remember,
Chris,
Teresa.
so
Just tell it
one,
really quick.
yeah, you do. This is really going to blow your mind, Chris. So one morning I went out to eat breakfast, and 3 people came in, 2 girls and a guy, and one of the girls had her back to me, and the other one sat next to the guy, and I was sitting there eating, waiting for my food, playing on my phone, and when they walked in, the one girl's T-shirt said volunteers, and it was a burgundy shirt and white lettering, and I said, oh, I wonder who she volunteers for. Looked down at my phone. About 10, 15 minutes later, I look up, and the girl's T-shirt that she had on no longer said volunteers. It said Queenie. She didn't bring a change of clothes. She didn't have her purse with her. Her shirt, the letters changed. I'm looking like, no way. So I went from volunteers to Queenie, Queenie, and I freaked out.
I've heard.
Explain that one to me.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
heard the stories.
Oh no, you go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I've
What do you
told
think?
Chris to finish saying what he was saying.
yeah, I've heard stories where people were like, these 2 brothers were sitting. They were in a shopping mall. They were sitting together on a bench, like talking to each other, and there was this man who I forget, but very distinguishable on one side of the mall, walking towards them. They looked down and they looked back up, and then the guy was on the other side of them. So
Wow.
yeah, so those type of things definitely, like I've witnessed things like that. So yeah, so when the hologram
It
changed,
freaks me out.
yeah.
Yeah, I had that. You were saying about your.
I've watched
son. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
please. It's okay. You're saying about your son.
No, I was just telling them that I've watched residue change.
Yes. In another place, well, I had my cat was several times this has happened where I thought she was in a certain place and she wasn't, and she'll just come out from like God knows where, and I'll be like, oh my God. One time she was scratching at the door, and I know I swore I saw her come in, was inside. And I opened I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. That was shocked that many times by her, and so I just like, all of a sudden, I've seen it like stores, like you'll see somebody walking, and all of a sudden they're in the whole nother place, and you're like, what the heck, So yeah, I about if it's switching timelines or what.
All right, I'm gonna make an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, no more questions after what's already there. Because we have a lot of things to cover.
Yeah, we gotta get started.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right, but the next question comes from Wizardry. Does Chris have any updates from his Germany experiments?
Let me think. Anything I'm allowed to say? I can say some crazy stuff, but I'll just say this, that for those of you that may or may not be in awareness of something called, am I allowed to say this? I'm not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to say it, but there's good things that are happening. There's good things that are happening. Something should not be spoken about, but it's good things. Can I just say the basic? Hold on, I'm just checking with my higher self. Related to the secret space program.
I hope it's good news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's lots of
Did we lose somebody?
going on in the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, Sandy?
All right. This comes. What? I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out what I'm seeing
What'd
on
you say?
screen.
Oh, yeah, I put that there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're
All right. True
presenting.
TNT asks, do you think there are benevolent beings helping Earth through these times?
I do. Absolutely. Like I believe in ETs.
Hmm.
Well, he's asking you, so you just answered it. See, I am making sure there's no other questions in the chat that I didn't miss. Oh wait, here's another one. Oh wait, no, I already asked that one. The problem is they're asking the same question over and over because it wasn't showing up. All right, I think that was everything. Yes, we are finally done the chat questions.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think that was the longest question and answer we've ever had.
Yeah, that was real
Okay.
long. Well, good. That was nice.
Yeah.
And we're gonna just
And we just lost
get
Chris.
right into Mandela Effect.
Oh no.
Were you gonna stick around, Chris? I hope.
He'll come back.
That's what I said. We just lost him.
Chris, if you're listening, come back.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
Where'd he go?
Make sure you check in the backstage like you were to leave me at.
I just messaged him to come back.
Uh-oh. Calling Chris.
Man,
Right.
so many problems with StreamYard.
Oh, there he
StreamYard's
is.
really
Come back.
acting
He
up.
said his computer crashed.
Oh, okay.
Well, come back. He said he's on the phone. Look in the back, StreamYard. Look in the back.
All right. He'll
He said
probably
he's on his phone.
Coming in on the phone.
come back. I hope.
Are you coming back? Okay, hold on. Are you coming back?
Okay, and that was he left off with he does believe in ETs. Okay.
It's
Remember
okay.
that.
No. I'm not sure if he's coming back. It's okay if not. I'm going to thank him for coming on. Thank you.
All right, we'll keep checking up on that. And I hope he comes back.
Did you say
All
he's
right,
not coming back?
He said
I'll
he
just
needs
get
to go anyway.
right into some of these. Okay, I wanted to let's see.
Okay.
Share some stuff. Oh, here's my
All right.
COVID-19 folder of Mandela Effects. Okay. All right. Start with the. Is he there? Let's see. I'm gonna keep checking up on that. No. FDA. All right. The F and the D and the A, all of these have changed for me.
Oh, wow. That looks weird.
Yeah, look at the F and the D. Look at that.
That's crazy.
I just noticed that.
Looks weird.
So yeah, this is all weird looking. Apparently it's been like this since 2016. Just like that.
What?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have to mention that this is a new change. Teresa and I covered the FDA on Brian's show because it had a
I just
triangle
got.
for an A. But the F and the D
Okay.
were
Sandy?
and broken like that when we covered it.
Yeah. I noticed the F and D right away. I knew the A was always funny, but this is a brand new change here. I know. And wanted to share that. Okay, and the Center for, I don't know if this one's new or not, but it is for me. I never noticed those lines going through them diagonally like that.
Yeah, that looks weird.
Yeah.
Sandy, I want to
Why
confirm
would you do that?
he's not coming.
Oh,
Can't talk.
goodbye, Christopher.
Yeah, I know. You
Thank
already
you for
said he's
coming
not
on the
coming back
show.
yet.
I hope you can come back.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks for being here. It's very
No, I'm
interesting.
trying to read.
Okay, guys, I'm going to try to go through these as fast as possible. S.C. Johnson. Do you remember the J like that? Anyone?
I do not.
No, I don't either.
It almost looks like a smiley face, like the S is see your eyes and the J is a smiley
and it's
face.
always been this way. 1999. Can you believe that? No. Always been that
Yeah,
way.
no.
No, I don't remember this at all.
That's odd. The diamonds and the J
Sometimes
look
it's
odd.
just
The hook.
CGJ, and that's it. This enormous line here for the J. So that's a new one. Let's see. Kleenex is it's now in a rounded fashion. It's curved. I just noticed that. I remember this going straight across horizontally, but now it's just curving over.
Are those new antiviral? I've never
Probably.
seen that before.
Yeah, I've never seen those either. I think they are new. So yeah, it's Curvious now. Oh, the J's been that way since 60s, Sandy. Look. Look at
Yeah,
that.
no. Nope, nope. I don't remember that.
No, me neither. Let's see. What else? I think that's it for the COVID-19 Mandela effects. I got, let's see. Have you covered this one, the CNN, that it's been this way since 84? That basically means like since the 80s that there was never separate letters. CNN. because that's news to me, you know.
That's so weird. It looks like CW.
Yeah, and this has always been like this since the 80s. I don't remember that. Let's see, we got Warner Brothers is a couple things here. First of all, we know about the logo going crazy, how funny that is since the 80s. It's always the W and B have been pointed down real low like that. I don't remember that at all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, do you remember WB Kids existing? Warner Brother Kids? I don't remember that ever existing.
Okay, here's the thing.
Since
We
way
covered
back in
Warner
the
Brothers before on Brian's channel, but
mm-hmm.
I've never seen that logo in my life. Never.
Really? Wow.
We covered the
Yeah,
pointy W and everything, but I've never seen that. Oh my God.
And this is
That
the
is
kids
crazy with the purple and the
Warner
yellow.
Brothers. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Oh, and look at this. It's apparently in the 70s. Look at that W in the 60s and 70s? I don't think so.
Yeah, we covered that one too.
Okay, and then it's
I know, we
72.
covered that too. We were like, what the heck is that?
Warner Brothers. Okay.
And
And
the
then
next
it
one, the
changed.
W and the B is merged. If you look at the red one.
Okay, yeah. All right, so
But good find on the kids one. I've never seen that in my life.
yeah, I've never seen that either. And here's this.
Yes, Kids WB, but I've never seen that logo.
Mm-mm.
That's the craziest logo I've ever seen in my life. The purple and the yellow and
Yeah.
No.
Me neither.
Is that 2010 to present logo? Can you zoom in on that? Is that connected with a dot? Like, is that connected?
I don't think so. Yeah, they might be.
The red and white one.
Yeah, it looks connected,
Or is
huh?
it just
It
it
does.
looks
It looks
connected.
connected.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember. It was just We lost Teresa again.
Teresa, come back. Okay, and where is she? Okay, let's see. Next one. All right, Discovery Channel. I remember the Discovery Channel. Okay, here's how it is. Discovery Channel. Now. Here's the thing. I remember the Discovery Channel because I had this channel. Past 95. Remember you're talking about the time thing, but that it's the same change. I remember the Discovery well into the 2000 because I had this and it was the Discovery Channel. And here it didn't change from the to Discovery. It changed in the 90s, it's saying. I don't remember that.
That's a long time ago. I don't remember that either.
Yeah.
Is Teresa backstage?
And no. And now it's just apparently from this 2013 to 16, it's just been like this D thing. I don't remember that. Okay. And Oh, okay. I've covered this one, but I want to cover it again. Unsolved mystery. Look at the V. It was never like that.
I've never seen that logo for Unsolved Mysteries. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been cursive in like this purplish pink.
Yeah. Now it's every single one
It
of
was
them
like
has a
4
V like that.
bars.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even the logo. The logo I remember was like 4 bars of silver or white that were like glowing, and then Unsolved Mysteries was written in cursive across it.
Yeah, I know. Here, I'm gonna go to it and oops, sorry, I can't see very well. So
Oh, look
here
at
it
the
is.
special Google logo.
Watch, look at oh, some of these have normal V's. Now how did the normal V's come back? All right, this is mess. This is it just switched back now.
That's the logo I remember. The bars. See the bars?
Yeah,
The blue bars?
like that.
That's it.
Okay. Now what happened to that weird V? It's gone. What the heck? It's gone. I
Oh my
had that
God.
strange V there, and that's all I saw. Every single one of them had that weird V, and now it's changed. What the heck?
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Oh my God, it's changed all of a sudden. No way.
It flipped back, that's all.
Yeah, it did. It flipped back completely. Oh my God, it flipped back. All the V's are normal. Okay, this is really weird, guys, because this V was like this on every single one of them, not just one. It was on all of them.
Well, at least the one you have, it's still the same way.
Yeah, the one I have is the one that it was. All the other ones were too. I think that it's, oh man, it's very weird. It changed back. All right, like I said, it
Is
was an
Teresa
old one. It
backstage?
changed back.
Curiouser?
No, no. Teresa, come back. She's not even in the chat.
Yeah, where did you
Where is
go,
she?
Teresa?
Maybe she's talking on the phone to
I'm
Chris.
gonna message her.
Okay, here is a bank. Logo wasn't like this. T and the D are one now.
I actually covered that and found residue of it without the T and the D. Do you want to see it?
All right, if you want to send it.
I have to go find it. But it's in Flickr.
You don't have
Hold on a
to,
minute.
but all right, I'm just going to keep going though
No,
while
it's
you
kind
do
of
it.
neat. It's schematics. It's I found it. It's schema. I'm gonna send to you on Messenger. It's schematics, like like an architectural drawing of the new design of their one of their banks.
Teresa.
It's the only place I found the logo like I remember it.
Okay.
There you go. You have it now.
All right, there it is. Very good. That's normal. Definitely is.
That's the only residue I could find on it when I covered it then.
Mm-hmm.
The only
Okay,
residue.
New York Giants logo. Look at the N and the Y.
What the?
Yeah.
Anybody from New York or New Jersey who likes this team? Because we're the Eagles and we don't. So I'm asking. I don't remember that logo.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. Okay, and looks like this one's, there are other ones. This one's changed for me too.
Look how merged giant is. Look
Yeah,
how merged
giants.
giants is at the top.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. The T and the S, the G and the A, that everything's merged.
There's how it used to be in the top left. Right at the top left of the screen. There's a giants in the
Okay,
NY,
this is
and it's
how.
not merged.
Yeah. Okay, I want to point that out. Let's see. Oh.
Chancellor Napa says, I have a Giants logo right behind me. Is yours merged? You can ask the chat about that. Curious, sir?
Huh? Oh, okay.
Are you gonna ask the chat about the apple?
Did you have it in your? Do you have it? Did you?
I can make a graphic really quick if you need me to.
No, I was
It'll
just
take me 2
asking if you
seconds.
already had it. Because if you don't have it, I can
No,
ask.
I just have the one that. It'll take me 2 seconds though. Just give me a second.
Okay.
I'd like to know where Teresa is though.
Yep. All right. I guess I don't know. Okay, so
Ignore the stuff on the bottom, guys. It's just the top that's going to matter. I just need to throw something in there. Here you go. Just so it's side by side. It's easier to see. Ignore the
okay,
bottom.
good.
It's the only way I
Thanks.
could do it where it was square.
Do you remember the Teen Titans like this? That team. This is going way back, 2011, 12. It was like that. Then 13, it changed to that.
I actually remember the 13, but not the 2011, 2012 one.
And here's the 26. Look at the E and
E's going under the N and stuff.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I'm to show that. 20th Century Fox. This is not a Mandela Effect, but I wanted to point out that they now have changed from 20th Century Fox to 20th Century Studios. So it's changed now. This is a change that they just recently
that's a
changed.
good thing to know.
Yeah.
So
20th
not a
Century
Mandela, unless
Studios.
someone says they remember 20th Century Studios earlier.
Yeah, I know. So it's not in effect. Teresa. Hold on.
Yep.
Hello.
Oh, gone again. Oh, she's back. Can
Where
I
did
hear
you
her
go?
though?
Can you?
I'm
Teresa,
right
are you
here.
there? Okay.
Yes.
No, I can't
I'm
hear
here.
her. Okay, Sandy, leave and
Every
come back
time you
in.
leave, I have to leave and come back and clear my settings. So whatever you're doing, please stop. Because now I gotta clear all my settings. I'll be back again.
I didn't do
I gotta
anything.
leave.
Someone take it down.
What?
I don't know. What's up? Curiouser.
Yeah, we're waiting for Sandy, and then I'll get back to the effects.
More. Yeah, I've been pretty dry lately, guys. Oh, no. Show that one that I sent you. Remember the weird one in the group? Yeah, that one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, show that one. That one's really weird.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right. Sandy, can you hear us?
Okay. I can hear you both, yes.
All right. I'm going right to the apple. Okay, I'm going to ask the chat. What do you remember? Which side do you remember the bite on being in the Apple 2? That or the Apple computer. Which side do you remember the bite?
Left or right, guys, in the chat.
Can you see the chat?
Yes, I can. Wizardry says right.
Okay.
Big Al 311 says right. True TNT says left. Chancellor Napa left. Anyone else? We're literally 50-50 split here.
Yeah, I know. All right, so I remember it like y'all and the bite coming out of the left. Currently, it's coming out on the right. There's a bite on the right. So this is the current way right now. So that's a switch for a lot of us. Okay, so I'm gonna share that. Okay, now next, speaking of switching and stuff, this couple pictures of the lights going how we remember. Green on top.
Yep, that's good.
And here is another one. Close up. Remember how this looks. Remember how it looks now. When I go to here, notice how that somebody wrote upside down stop traffic stop. You see this where it says that?
Yes.
Upside down. They named it. When you go to it, it's not upside down. Look at the lights on the sides. It's right side up. It's completely right side up.
I have residue of this too. Different residue. I have residue of this in my folder too.
It's funny that they would call it upside down when it's not. Yeah. Okay. A couple more here.
Is that true?
See.
True TNT says in Canada they are green on top mostly everywhere.
What?
I've never
Now
heard
that's
of that.
bizarre. Why would they have
that?
Now why would they have that just somewhere and not other places? What? All right, I wanted to share humans now have existed since when the dinosaurs existed.
In the chat, yes or no, do you know that, was it common knowledge to you that humans existed with the dinosaurs? Because for us, no.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
I know that
this
humans.
is a great find.
Yeah, the first appeared a fossil human record around 66 million years ago. I thought humans were 1 million years old. All right. Soon after the Sandy, how do you say this? Cretaceous.
Soon after the Cretaceous and Paleogene
extinction event. Thank you. That eliminated about 3/4 of the plant and animal species on Earth, including most dinosaurs. Humans were at the time before the wipeout and everything. Never heard of this ever.
I agree. Preliminal says dinosaurs way before, then the mammal age, then the humans.
Yeah. My understanding was that humans were some at the most. This was at the most like 1 million was what I learned. 1 million about. And so this is like going way far back. I don't understand. I'll look in more into this actually. So, but anyway,
Teresa again.
Teresa.
I'm going to message her to go on her other phone.
There she is, Teresa. Okay, she's back. Can you hear her? Can you hear?
Nope.
She didn't say it. Teresa,
I
say
I didn't say
something.
anything yet.
Oh,
Say
okay.
something.
Oh, all right. I can hear you, Teresa.
All right, good.
Teresa, if
Teresa,
you get kicked out again, listen, if you get kicked out again, use your other phone.
It's not charged up. It's only 4%. Yeah, I kind of run down low. Yeah.
Well, make sure your phone's not on the floor. It doesn't get a good signal down there.
No, I'm not on the floor. I'm sitting on the bed.
All right, the next one. How old do you all remember Earth being? Because my understanding, I thought the Earth was 6 billion years old. 6 billion, I learned.
15.
Anyone else learn
I
that?
remember 15 million.
All right, I
15
remember
million.
6 billion. We might all have different memories of this. 6 billion was the
15 million.
Earth's age. Now it's 4.543 billion. No, I don't remember no 4.
What?
I remember 6 billion years old. What do you remember, Sandy?
I don't remember anything, honestly. I'm not sure.
Ask the chat what they remember. What do you all remember for the age of the Earth?
Wizardry okay, Chancellor Napa says 6.24 billion. That's
there you
very
go.
specific.
It's better.
Wizardry says 16 billion.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, it's only it's young age there,
True TNT remembers 4.3 billion. So younger than what it is now.
Maybe we did go back in time,
I think we did. I really do. I think we're on newer Earth than what we were on.
Right. This is billions of years we've gone back then, which would explain the changes in the, continents and stuff.
It would explain the changes in the continents, the warmer temperatures we experience, the less snow we experience, the fact that our seasons have moved. It explains a lot. Even our positioning in the solar system, in the galaxy could even change in all that time.
So we're on a younger Earth, from what I remember. So that's bizarre to me. It's younger now.
See,
okay.
Gerald Neal says this is an older Earth, but I think it's newer. I think our continents are closer because it's closer to Pangea, and we're still moving farther away, which would also explain the higher increase in seismic activity because the continents are still shifting away from each other. I don't know. It just makes everything falls into place in my head with it being a newer Earth.
All right, and this last effect I wanted to share is that there's now a meat-eating plant. Okay, it eats animals. A plant that eats animals in Canada.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, so organisms might even go live in the pitcher, and it'll break down their bodies after. Oh, that's gross. Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's all.
Never heard of this one. Only Venus flytrap.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a new one.
Well,
Let's see. I have to leave real briefly, okay? I am gonna be right back though. Will you be able to talk to them?
can you?
You guys?
Why don't you put up? Well, I'll talk to them, but why don't you throw up on the screen the like? I'll give you a graphic to throw up on the screen. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Give me one sec. Here it is. Okay, just throw that up on the screen, and then I'll have something to talk about.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. I don't know if this is a Mandela effect for you guys, and if it's not, it's okay. But I remember learning about this in school. I remember seeing a model of this before mine was removed. And this has definitely changed for me. I asked Chris after he left, and he's not affected by this. So basically, which appendix do you remember? The one on the left or the one on the right? Do you remember a thin piece of, organ that'll chewed up and bubbly, or do you remember just a thin tube? Do you remember left or do you remember right? Teresa, you there? Teresa? Hello? If you don't know, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I had my appendix removed and I saw a model and,
The one on the left?
this stuff's. You remember
The one on the left.
Okay.
No, right.
Wizardry
I don't know.
Wizardry says left. Drew TNT doesn't know. Chancellor Napa says lefty.
Right.
Interesting. You remember the right?
I don't know.
Are you guessing?
I don't know now. Yeah.
It's okay. Anybody else want to guess in the chat?
I really don't know my appendix, guys. Seriously, they both look weird. They're ugly.
It's okay. Are you saying my drawing is ugly?
Yeah. Yeah, they're both ugly. Sorry.
Well, I couldn't find a single piece of residue of what I remembered, so I had to draw it. And no one else in the chat?
Well, we're not doctors, Sandy.
I know you're not doctors, but you learn about this stuff in school.
Remember, I'm an old lady. I've been out since 81.
Okay, fine.
Thank
no,
you.
True TNT, your appendix is on the left. No one really knows what the appendix is for. We don't really use it anymore. That's why when I had my cancer surgery, since they were in there, I took it out anyway.
I see we have them all taken out.
Well, there was there. See, the thing is, the only thing the appendix is good for is going bad and bursting. So they figured since they were in there anyway, let's take it out.
Okay.
Well, guys, it is currently this string thing on the right. And weird. For me, it looked more like a shriveled intestine, kind of flat and bubbly, but not a string. It looks like a string now. I do not remember that at all.
I can say what it looks like, but I'm not going to say. I'm not going to go there.
It could be true TNT. I mean, for me, it was always on the left, but anything is possible now, especially with the body. Anything is possible. All right, let's see who's here while we're waiting for her to come back.
Where'd she go?
I'm going to start from about the middle because I'm sure people have left. Let's see, we have Ben Lightened, Moldvox, True TNT is here, Preliminal,
Okay.
Gerald Neal, Chancellor Napa.
Okay, sorry about that. Hi, I'm back.
It's
Okay.
okay. Hey, I'm just doing a shout out for the room.
All right.
Karen Maloney is here. Just out of curiosity, Curiouser, which do you remember the appendix looking like, the left or the right?
Let's see.
Was it 3, Michael Fontaine? I'm
I don't
sorry.
know this one.
It's okay.
I'm thinking the right? I don't know.
Currently,
Well,
yes, it's the right. I remember the left.
what you showed me that it's changed a lot, so I believe you. I just don't know it, because I don't know. I haven't studied the appendix or anything yet. It's not something I remember.
I had mine removed in 2016. So
Yeah, you were saying, and
yeah.
that was really bizarre what you said.
Yeah. All right. Well, we also have Gerald Neal. I think I said Gerald, but Big Al 311. Let's see. I think I got Michael. I said Michael Fontaine. I think I got everyone. If I didn't say your name, just say hi in the chat, and I'll get to you. And True TNT wanted me to ask you, what side is the appendix on for you? What side do you remember?
Right?
That's what True TNT remembers. It's on the
Uh-huh.
left.
Oh, wow.
And it's much lower than I remember. Noble was talking to me about it, how he remembers it much higher up than it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to agree, it wasn't as low as it is now. Now it's like almost at your groin. It's very low. Teresa.
Yeah, I'm here.
True TNT says, same here, Teresa. Haven't been in school since 81.
Yeah, that's when I graduated.
Crazy? You want something crazy?
What?
I didn't start school until 81.
Huh? No,
Teresa,
that's graduated from high school.
Teresa, I started preschool in 1981.
Oh my God. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's a little bit bizarre. Wow.
I was kindergarten class of 1982.
That is crazy.
All right, Sandy, we got to hurry with this. Which folder you want me to go to?
Let's go to Super Mario.
Okay.
I am really curious what people remember on this. I found this one tonight and it blew my mind. I'm sure a lot of you in the chat know who the Super Mario Brothers are, or Mario, however you want to pronounce it.
Mario.
Some people pronounce it Mario. Some people pronounce it Mario. Whatever. We know what we're talking about. Left or right, guys? What color clothes do you remember? Left or right? We're ignoring their hair for now. This is somebody's drawing. We're just talking about their clothes.
Huh.
I just want to say they would turn white when they would get the sunflower that made them shoot fireballs. But their normal color, left or right? Curiouser, do you know who they are?
I think I remember the blue.
Really?
Um,
So does Wizardry. Chancellor Napa and Gerald Neal, remember, left. Anyone else? True TNT, can you tell the difference now? Starstream's Ghost right after? Chancellor Napa says right now. Don't be so sure, Chancellor. Anyone else? All right, well, I'm going to tell you, for me, it was left. And it's been both, actually. That's why I'm saying don't be so sure. The problem is I've never seen the blue. But the original Super Mario Brothers, it was the left. They wore yellow, they wore green suspenders and red suspenders because their shirts were blue. And now it's reversed. And it's been like that since 1989.
Wow.
For me, it's very obvious, Gerald. They never have blue suspenders for me. Never. Well, I have some images in that folder. If you can go through them, please. I remember the box on the left, but currently Super Mario Brothers 3 is the box on the right. It's not always displayed, and I'm going to show you. So here's a timeline. As you can see, the original Super Mario Brothers at the bottom in red in 1985. And then everything after that is blue. So did I, Chancellor Napa, and they never had blue for me. Here's another timeline showing the evolution of Mario. The first two are red, followed by blue, black, blue, 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 and denim. So all of you saying it was never red, it was red in the beginning. And for me, it was never blue. So all of our memories are incorrect is what I'm trying to say. Here's a drawing of the Super Show, the cartoon, and they wear the outfits I remember. I can't see it yet. I see it on the little screen, but not the big one. So this is what happens in the later games. Their suspenders become the color. So Luigi's became green with white when they get the super power-ups. Again, the suspenders that I remember, green and red.
Wow.
I don't think it's a false memory, Chancellor. I think it just changed. He's wearing red there. That's blue and red with the tail. I'm just showing you that's definitely blue and red in the game. Now, what you're going to find interesting is the games. That's what he looks like with the fireball, the white. And that's him in the original with the red. Now, the board games are how I remember it, red and green.
There's another board game with red suspenders. Or this one's a puzzle, I'm sorry. And here's the Wii version with blue. This is showing them all blue. I've never seen blue ever, guys. This is the first time I've seen them with blue suspenders.
It's
All right, now here's the
crazy.
interesting part. With certain versions, it may just be other countries and how it looks. Sometimes he's wearing purple, Luigi. It's very odd. I've never seen purple or blue overalls. That's Mario wearing the green that Luigi wears. I have no idea why they have Mario with green on. And that's the original image. Okay, now wait, stop here for a second. Does anyone ever recall a Christmas version of Super Mario 2? Now, this box is a mock-up. It's not real. But I have the real one. It did exist. Never in my life did I love all things Christmas. I would have asked for the Christmas version. I do not ever remember this. Gerald Neal, all the Luigi Halloween costumes are blue. Every single one of them. Here's Super Paper Mario, or Paper Mario 2, red. And there's the toys, they're all blue. And interestingly, the blues are different colors. Like, why is Mario's a brighter blue than Luigi's? I can't say that's a change for sure because I've never seen blue before. I'm waiting until we get to the real Super Mario Brothers too. All right, so here's Luigi's timeline. Started out green. And then he went blue, black, purple, blue, blue, purple, blue, blue. I have never seen anything except the green and the white. I've never seen those other colors. They look completely foreign to me. Now, they added things to this, but it's green and blue and it's wrong. It is. It's really bizarre. This whole thing's messed up. No one is correct. Regardless of what you remember, Unless you remember that it being all different colors like this, none of us have the current memory. So here's the actual copy of the Super Mario Brothers 2 Christmas Madness edition, which I've never heard of. I'm thinking someone maybe like a developer made it that wasn't part of Nintendo. I don't know. It's very bizarre to me.
All right, which folder next then?
I have to go look at them. The ones I sent you. Let's do Bon Jovi. There's a few things going on Bon Jovi. Okay, guys. Living apostrophe or living on a prayer. And I'm not talking about in the song. I'm just talking about the title. What is the title of the song? No, you didn't. I didn't cover this on Mandela Monday. That's weird. I just found this tonight. On is not the correct answer, Wisdry. I'm looking for living or living. The title, not what they sing in the song. The actual title of the song. And also, I'm pointing out, guys, do you run a diamond between Bon and Jovi? Curious or Teresa?
No.
I got you, True TNT. I know. I kind of had a feeling. Teresa, are you there? All right, well, there's a second question. So far, we have Chancellor says live in. True TNT, says live in. Starscream Ghost says living. Rich Fasanic, living, no doubt. True TNT, Wizardry says living. Okay, and all no's to the diamonds. Okay, second question. We got to hold on, ready or not. You live for the fight when blank all that you got. Can you please fill in the blank? Well, I'll tell you the answers in a minute, guys. I just want to keep the questions going. I don't know what happened to Teresa. She's not answering. He's already gone propagate this light. He was here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then he had to go. No, all is the next word, Starscream Ghost. I need the word before it. You live for the fight when blank all that you got. True TNT says that. Chancellor Napa says when the fight's all you got. That's not what the words are. It's you live for the fight when blanks all that you got. Starscream Ghost says that. Interesting. No problem.
I'm here. I can hear you guys.
I've been asking your opinion on things and you're not answering me.
Yeah, I was answering before. You couldn't hear me.
Wizardry says it's.
We've got to hold on, ready or not. You there for the fight when something's all you got? That's
Are you say that's?
no, is that what it is? We've got to hold on.
No, I'm asking you. Chancellor Napper says it's.
Wait, you live for the oh geez. That's or is that wrong?
No, I'm not telling anybody yet. If that's your answer, that's your answer.
Yeah.
It's just his thing propagate.
That's a tough one, Sandy.
It might be right, Starscream's Ghost says.
It could be.
Types of dreams. All right, going back to the first part. It is living apostrophe. I know for a fact it was living. I have residue to prove it. Number 2, I remember it. You live for the fight when it's all that you got. And now it's you live for the fight when that's all that you got. That's followed by that. Sounds bizarre. So I have residue of both. Here it comes. We're going to zoom in on this if you can. These are handwritten lyrics by John Bon Jovi, and he wrote That's, which is interesting because everywhere you look, including Google, it says It's, the way I remember it. So we're going to move along, but John Bon Jovi wrote That's in this reality. But for some reason, every lyric I find, it's It's. So here's some residue. This is Living on a Prayer. But I bet I have really good residue for this, so hang tight. There's some memes mixed in and t-shirts and stuff. But I have some 100%. All right, so this is actually printed on a DVD, Living on a Prayer. Again, I remember them singing Live In. They did sing Living on a Prayer, but the title was Living with a G on a Prayer for me. I don't know, Richard Sanic. I think he was always Jon for me. So this is listed as a as a Bon Jovi T-shirt, Living on a Prayer. This is someone doing a mashup, Living on a Mystic Prayer. And notice there's no diamond between Bon and Jovi. Oh, Living on a Prayer. This is another T-shirt. Okay, now this is interesting too. Can you zoom in on that? This is an album, guys. On the B side, Living on a Prayer Live, 5 minutes, 44 seconds. On an album, Living. Okay, this is autographed lyrics by the band. And if you scroll down, it says Livin', I'm not concerned about that at this point. At the very bottom, you're going to see it says it's, not that, right there. Can you see it? It says you live for the fight when it's all that you got. And that is what I remember. And it's by it's copyrighted 1986 Universal. It's the lyrics I remember, but they sing that when that's all that you got. This is a quote by Bon Jovi. There's a different kind of meaning now to living on a prayer. Some don't seem to notice, and the rest don't seem to care. No, I haven't, Wizardry. It's not always that easy to do, to be honest with you. But I found this tonight, and I was kind of rushed to get it ready for the show. So here's sheet music for Living on a Prayer. Underneath it says Slippery When Wet album. Now this, I have this because I have a close-up of it. You don't need to zoom in on this one. This is a Living on the Prayer t-shirt with all the lyrics to the song on it. And I have a close-up showing you it says it's. It's coming up, don't worry. When we get to it, you'll know what it is. Here again are lyrics, and it says it's at the bottom. But that's what he's singing, Chancellor Napa. If you go listen to it, they sing and that's I mean, and that's all that you got. They don't sing it's. So here, in red, when that's all that you got, so it's in red because it's wrong for me, and then underneath, Living on a Prayer with a G. All right, Living on a Prayer. What am I looking at? It's zoomed in. Oh, this is a something, but it says living all over it, but they listed it as Living on a Prayer. I believe you, Chancellor Napa. That's what happens. They change. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer t-shirt. And I'm sure a week ago it was Living. The title was Living. So here's that t-shirt, and I zoomed in and showed you when it's all that you got. It's. That's what it was for me. We lost Teresa again. This is the Sun magazine. Bon Chance. Can I get Bon Jovi tickets? Or am I living on a prayer? It's the same. It's almost the same t-shirt. This is an actual CD, and it says Living on a Prayer with a G. I don't know if you can zoom. I mean, you can see it. That's fine. Living on a Prayer. Underneath it says Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora, and D-Child. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer lyrics 2020. No, I think that was Panic at the Disco, maybe. This is someone's favorite music. They don't know what song is their favorite song, what second favorite song. Living on a Prayer. You'd think they'd know it was Living. Okay, guys, this is the best residue I think I could find. So, autographed by Torres Tico, who's in the band. He wrote Living with a G on a prayer on this drum skin. Why would he write the wrong name if it was Living? He wrote Living. You should know your own songs, you know? There's so much residue for Living on a Prayer. This is ringtones you can buy in an app, and it says Living on a Prayer. There's Living on the Prayer 1 and 2. I don't know why this exists, but it's like a test to see if you know the lyrics of the song. And it says, it's live for the fight when it's all that you've got. Thank you, Gerald. And again, they've always sang Live In, singing it, but the title was Living. There's that stupid diamond again. Now this is like, oh, okay, well, you already passed it. That was like imitating the Slippery When Wet album. This is a Bon Jovi tribute band, and they are playing Living on a Prayer. Living on hand sanitizer and a prayer. Look, no diamond, guys, just Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer song pack. That would be nice, Drew TNT. With gloves. No, I'm kidding. I don't know where Teresa went. All right. Next folder. Let's go with Let Them Eat Cake. Curiouser, you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is really quiet. All right, guys. Who said let them eat cake? Anyone in the chat? Who said let them eat cake? And can we just appreciate the artistry of the person who made those cake pops? That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, QTNT, Starstream's Ghost. Both say Marie Antoinette. Gerald Neal says Queen Catherine of France.
Yeah,
I
Queen of
don't
France,
know.
that
It's okay.
comes to mind
Okay.
for me.
Anyone else? Chancellor Knapp and Marie Antoinette. Wizardry, I'm not saying that. Chancellor Knapp and the Queen of France. Preliminal Bob Hope. Gerald Neal, Marie Antoinette is probably correct. I'm probably wrong here. Chancellor Knapp, the Queen. Okay, well, I gotta be honest with you. I never heard about the Queen Catherine of France saying this. For me, it was always Marie Antoinette. The thing is, she never said this in our reality. Recently, there's been a movie about Marie Antoinette where she says, let them eat cake. She's never said it in this reality. I'm going to tell you who did say it. Can you go to the next card, please? The only person who said anything like let them eat cake in history wasn't even referring to Marie Antoinette. And they didn't exactly say let them eat cake. They said cake in French. But I need the next card. Marie Antoinette was beheaded, but she never said this. Instead, it was Jean-Jacques Rousseau, but he wasn't referring to Marie Antoinette, and he said, let them eat brioche. Let them eat cake was never said by anyone in history.
Wow, that's news to me.
News to me, too. Yet, the residue is going to show you that everyone associates it with Marie Antoinette. And the strange thing is, historians will tell you that it would be very uncharacteristic of her to say such a thing because she really cared about the poor. She was a philanthropist. She donated. She would give food and clothing and all sorts of things to the at the time peasants. She really cared for them. She would never have said something as mean as since they have no bread, let them eat cake. Like it was that was a very dismissive statement. So in this timeline, she was nicer as well. So here's a Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. Marie Antoinette had let them eat cake. Yes, it is Gerald Neal. But he wasn't referring to Marie Antoinette when he said it. And why are all these things referring to Marie Antoinette and not Jean-Jacques Rousseau? Why is there a 2018 or 2019 movie starring Kirsten Dunst as Marie Antoinette saying, let them eat cake? This makes no sense. If they had no bread, let them eat cake. She never actually told the starving 18th century proletariat to eat cake. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, in his book Confessions, wrote the line, makeshift of a great princess was told that the peasants had no bread and replied, let them eat brioche. There's a t-shirt of that same sticker. I honestly don't know, Chancellor Napa. Curiouser, do you know who the first female doctor was?
No, I don't. Huh.
Sorry. This is an image of the movie starring Kirsten Dunst. She does, doesn't she? I agree, Preliminal. There's a comic, Let Them Eat Cake, Marie Antoinette's jovial invitation to partake in her birthday celebration was seriously taken out of control. There's so much residue of Marie Antoinette saying this. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're pressed for time, we don't need to go through all of these. They're just repeating the same thing. We can go
It's
to the next
over.
one. Okay. Okay. Next, we're going to do... Oh. I have quite a few. How many more do you want to do?
Yeah, we've only got like a few minutes. We don't have much time here.
All right.
Hate to say.
Really quickly, just show the it says logos and residue, but it's just the one image of the upside down light. If you want to show that real quick, and then I'll pick one more while you're doing that. So this is in Syracuse, New York, guys. It's a functioning light on top of a building with green on top. Besides the one that's in Massachusetts somewhere, that's actually a street light. This is the only functioning one I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, so we're going to do Wall Street. I'm not going to do the ones I covered on Mandela Monday since I have so many new ones. We'll do Wall Street, and I'll save the two music ones for Mandela Monday. All right, guys. I took the quote out from the picture. What is Michael Douglas's famous line in Wall Street? He played Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. What was Gordon Gekko's famous line? Does anyone know? Gerald Neal says greed is good. Anyone else? It's okay if you didn't say it. It's okay if you guys don't know it. Never watched it. It's okay. It's an older movie, guys. I understand. All right, well, then I'm just going to, since it seems like no one knows it except for Gerald. It's okay. Gerald said greed is good, and I agree with Gerald. Greed is good, except it's not that anymore. Now it's greed, comma, for a lack of a better word, comma, is good. It's now a full-on sentence. He never said greed is good. He said greed, for a lack of a better word, is good. And that's wrong to me. It was just greed is good. And we found some pretty good residue, Teresa and I. So someone did a painting. Greed is good. Is greed still good? Asked Fortune magazine. Instead of, is greed, for lack of a better word, still good? Greed is good. It could have been that. I just remember greed is good, but it could have been, that could have been before it. Gerald's saying he kind of remembers, for lack of a better word, greed is good. And that very well could have been what it was. It does sound familiar. Now, interestingly, right on the DVD, it says greed is good. No dot, dots, no nothing, just greed is good in quotations. This is just like Forrest Gump, where the old reality was on the VHS box, but the video had the current reality. This was in a newspaper. Greed is good. Greed is right. Greed is good, not greed for a lack of better word. It says it right there in the quotes. Good, Gerald. For a lack of a better word would be good. Or no, maybe it is greed. Greed for the, yeah, it's greed. I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind here. There's a lot of residue for this. It broke my heart too, True TNT. There's a lot of residue for this. Happy birthday, Gordon Gecko. I can't read. Oh, 5 favorite quotes. And then I had an image of him saying greed is good. It's just probably not in the same order. Silas? Sorry, my cat's getting into trouble. Give me 1 second. Sorry, he wanted to go out of the room.
Ah,
And
okay.
he was
It's all right.
banging on the door to get out. That's autographed. Great. Is great good.
And that's the original image I took the quote out of. I was supposed to do everywhere for this one.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna have to call it a night, everyone. So
Okay, if they
it was
want to
great
see
show.
the music, I was gonna say if they want to see the music ones up, tune into Mandela Monday or come back here next week. I'll show them again here next week too.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank
So
you for
all right.
hanging out with us. Thank you for participating
Yes.
so much in the chat with the questions tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah. And all right. So we're gonna go and keep safe, everyone, and we'll see you next time, next show. And you'll have a good night.
You too. Have a great week, guys. Good night.
All right. Good night, everyone.